So let's jump straight into FinViz. So FinViz is a website that has a lot of information that investors can review to make decisions whether to invest or not in a particular company. The homepage you can see here has a lot of information, but we don't want to have a look at this today. Let's just go straight into the screener section. On landing on the screener section, the results show over 7,000 companies that is being pulled up. We want to filter this down to make sure that we can find stocks that have high potential for growth and also have been growing year on year in the previous years. So let's open up the filter section and let's reveal how many things we can actually filter for. There's quite a lot of information here we can filter for, but we just want to make this specific and find stocks that have been growing on year with an EPS growth over 15%. So let's identify the market cap we want to filter this for. So a large market cap over 10 billion. You can see that it's already reduced the number of companies to 839. That's fantastic. The EPS growth over the last 5 years, we want that to be over 15%. This shows that a steady growth after the last 5 years have been over 15%. This is good. EPS growth for the next 5 years is predicted to be again over 15%. The average volume that the company is trading at, so the amount of people are buying and selling the stock on a daily basis, we want that to be anything over 200,000 people per day. Now, what is the EPS growth for this year? Again, let's set this to 15%, over 15%. And what's the predicted EPS growth for the next year to come? Let's make that again 15%. Now, from over 7,000 companies that came up in the results when we first landed on this page, we now have 30 companies. So that's actually reduced it for a great deal. It's still quite a bit of companies for us to review. So let's kind of filter this a bit more so we can actually get the best of this bunch. Institutional ownership. So that's pretty important. So what's the percentage of the ownership of these companies that have been invested by institutions? So we want to have a look at companies that have over 70% of their investments are made by institutions. Okay, so that's giving us a result of 23. Let's have a look at these results. We can see the cap here, the industry, the country. Now, depending on what country you reside in, you may want to look at companies just within your country, or I like to have a look at companies that are sitting in one country at a time. So if I was to pull this report, I would look at companies just within the USA, or I'm based in the UK, but I may want to look at companies that are just in the UK. Let's have a look at the next screen. So a lot of these companies are based in the USA. So let's just filter this down to American companies only. And now we have a total result of 17. I would say this is a decent amount of companies we can actually investigate and look into. So let's review the results here. We have the ticker. So the ticker is a code that's applied for every company. When you're looking for information about a particular company in the stock market, you need to know the company's ticker. If the ticker is incorrect, you can actually buy stock in the wrong company. So it's very, very important you have the right ticker. The sector, this is for you to know what sector the company is in, and the industry. If you are familiar what industry you want to invest in, you can actually go into the filter section and filter out a particular industry of your liking, and then apply other filters for that as well. But for this video, I'm not going to do that. I want to have a look at all of the companies across all industries and find out which ones will give us the best return. The results have given us 17 companies that meet our criteria. So let's have a recap what we filtered for. Companies that have a large market cap, over 10 billion. Companies that have had an EPS growth over 15% for the last 5 years. It's predicted to have an EPS growth over 15% for the next 5 years to come. The average volume of people trading each of these companies on a daily basis is over 200,000. The EPS growth for the current year is over 15%. It's predicted to have another EPS growth over 15% in the next year, and institutional ownership is over 70%. And also we've filtered just for USA companies. We can actually filter the results by price. So it gives us an indication to see how much these company stocks are worth. And it goes from, we can filter it from the lowest all the way to the highest. And you can see if there's any correlation between the price of the stock and the market cap. The results from this filtered search show that companies are performing very well on a year-on-year basis and actually predicted to continue to grow in the next 5 years or so. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're always trending upwards on the charts. Charts can actually show different signs. So we want to have a look at the charts to see if their prices are growing up on a year-on-year basis. And for companies that we can see that it's a consistent growth for each year, we want to make a note of these and then investigate them more on a charting tool. Let's go through to see which ones have a consistent growth. This one here, it's not growing consistently over the period of time. So let's leave that one alone. Nor is this one. This one here, you can see that it's been growing consistently. It doesn't show you the full time period for this particular company, but I'm going to make a note of this and we're going to review the chart in another tool. Let's make a note of that one there. So there's FND. This one here, PTC, again, consistently growing year on year. So if we wanted to invest at any point in this company on this chart, so if he was to invest in April, or he was to invest in June, or even in August, by the end of the year, we would have made a profit. So let's make a note of that one there as well. Again, with PCTY, that's going up consistently. So is this one, ENPH. This one's going down, so let's leave that one alone. PayPal, it is growing. I'm gonna make a note of that one. You can see here it goes sideways a little bit in the middle, but then it starts to pick up again. We want to dive into that to see how that's performing on a charting tool. SQ, again, that's going up. OLED, again, that's going up. And this one here, SBAC, that's going sideways. And this one here, ADSK, that is going up, but you can see that it has gone sideways for a lot of the time on this chart. So we're going to leave that one, put that one to one side. Let's have a look at the next page. Again, sideways, Netflix sideways. Now, yes, that's been going up consistently. And CHTR, again, that has been going up. And EQIX, that's been going down. So in total, we have, let's bring up my notes in front of you here. So we have in total 8 companies that we want to investigate and have a look at the charts to see how these are performed on a year-on-year basis. Let's have a look at the companies we've filtered for here. We'll filter for the companies that have the best performing EPS growth for the next 5 years, which is over 15%. Let's have a recap of what we filtered for. We chose companies that had a market cap over 10 billion. We ensured there was year-on-year growth in the EPS. Institutional ownership was over 70%, and the average volume of stocks traded per day was over 200,000. Remember, for each of these companies, you should double check the financial reports to make sure that there's consistent growth. Now we've conducted our fundamental analysis, we need to perform a technical analysis for these companies to see how the stock prices move over time. This will identify if there are any opportunities for us to make money from these companies. The tool I use to perform technical analysis is called TradingView. In the next video, I will take you through this platform and show you how to perform a technical analysis.